Hey guys, this Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, February 13th at 12 p.m. Eastern, I'm giving away a free Nintendo Switch Lite on my Twitch channel. That's right, a free Nintendo Switch Lite to a random subscriber. Tune into my Twitch, twitch.tv/Natalie Cuomo, for your chance to win a free Nintendo Switch Lite. All right, let's start the show.
Welcome to Help with Natalie Cuomo, the podcast about a girl who just can't help herself.
Welcome, you guys, to another episode of Help with Natalie Cuomo. I am so excited. The amazing Pat Dixon is here with me in studio today. How are you, Pat?
Prepare to be amazed. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I couldn't be better. As I said earlier, I got way too fucking stoned this morning.
Oh, that's too bad.
It is.
How do you judge two stones? I mean, like, what's the perfect amount versus two stones?
I feel socially awkward and unable to function.
Yeah, I never would have known.
Really?
Yeah.
Really, I'm acting the same as always.
Yeah, I mean, like, you don't seem awkward. You don't seem to feel strange. You're smiling. You're communicating. But then again, maybe that is weird for you.
Pat and I, we really got to know each other last week because, wow.
It's true. We had a lot of car time.
No one knows me better than Pat Dixon.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay,
I
well-
hope that's not the case. Because if it is, you don't know anybody hardly at all, right? I mean, we really just met. We don't know each other that
You're
well.
right, you're right.
But I do feel as if I did see a lot of your flaws. And and you know what? But the truth of it is, I didn't know what you were like. And so I was just thinking back to any encounter I had with you was at a secret show or something. You would do your spot and walk off and kind of stalk off, like with some attitude. That was my perception. And I don't think that's the case, because I meet you now and it's like, oh, she's actually, got some sense.
Okay, let's talk about this.
Fine.
Well, there's a lot to break down here. I would stalk off. What do you mean?
Well, that was my perception.
Like, that means I would walk off angrily?
It means you didn't say hello to me.
I always thought that you were rude as well, Pat.
There you go.
Okay, number one. Number two, what do you mean? You saw a lot of my flaws?
Well, you're very outspoken about what's in the center nugget of your brain.
Uh-huh.
And so, like, I was seeing some of the ways you think. Like, we were running late for the second night, and you've said all this reassuring stuff. I was concerned about being late. I know you were. And you'd say, you know what? It's 15 minutes. He'll do a set. It's going to be fine. It's fine. And then a couple of minutes later, nothing else had happened. No more text. Just out of your mouth. Dino is mad. And I'm in a panic. And you did that like 3 or 4 times. You just like this push-pull. And I was like, damn. But, you have the ability to calm yourself down, apparently.
I don't think that's a flaw.
No, not the ability to calm yourself down,
Yeah.
but just having a consistent sort of like emotional state is good, and
Well,
not
it's
being
just
on
the
that roller
anxiety.
coaster.
It's like it's whack-a-mole.
Oh, and that's your way of whacking it, is
So-
to just spread it over to the driver?
No. Dino is mad is the mole coming up. It's like, Dino's mad. We're late.
Right.
We're fucking late, Pat.
Uh-huh.
And then the hammer is being like, it's fine.
Right.
We're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
And like normally, whoever you're with is not privy to every every permutation of that, But you bring whoever is in the room on your roller coaster, I guess.
I'm too open about my experience.
Some things you don't have to say. But the thing is that's my fault, because I should just recognize that and go, whatever she says, just it doesn't matter. I know how it is. But when you're panicked about it, when you're getting,
Pat, seems like you've done a lot of reflecting and decided that
I've done zero reflecting.
I'm a lot
Zero.
more negative.
No.
Because you were a lot nicer before, Pat.
No, I'm not being mean. I think that it really speaks highly of you, the fact that I've even like gone so far as to
do your
be able
podcast.
to explain this. Yeah. No, I think no, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, were you aware of that you had that kind of that whack-a-mole situation?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's okay. So you're good with it, and sharing it shouldn't bother me. It's just like I'm all attuned to whatever else is. I guess I think I'm a hyper empathetic person.
You're fascinated by the human experience.
I don't know why you say that. Oh, because it's in my birthday book page. Yeah. Says you and my ex-wife. The same thing. She did the same thing with the book.
Everyone that watches this podcast is very familiar with the birthday book.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be right back.
So what I think is that I do, but I'm not that open about my experience with everyone. It's either I'm like all or nothing. Right, Paul?
Yep.
So
All or nothing.
So you felt like it was a safe situation.
Yeah.
And it was. What was I going to do? Shoulder roll out of the car or something? I mean, it's going to change nothing.
It was safe because you were driving. Not I.
I bet if you were driving, you wouldn't have been thinking so much about it, in fact. You'd be focused on just,
It's true.
trying to maintain the appropriate speed and step on the right pedals. And
There's a lot to focus on when you're driving.
that's true.
Yeah.
You're a
But-
good comedian. I enjoyed working with you. It was fun at Uncle Vinny's. You hold the stage really well, and the crowd likes you. And I see why you're doing what you're doing.
Thanks, Pat. That's the clip for this week, Paul. That's the clip.
I was going to say, you just made her day.
Thank you. You did.
I think you should do more of that whack-a-mole stuff on stage.
How?
Just like whatever you're feeling emotionally, give it voice, and then whack it down.
I don't know. That is my brain. Like, I'm really anxious.
And weed smooths that out for you.
No.
It heightens it.
It smooths it out if I'm alone. I'm able to, I guess I'm able to shut it off and leave people alone.
But then you feel like if you're around people, right?
I'm still bothering them.
But it heightens it, right? Yeah, and it makes you feel weirder.
Yes.
So it's not a social drug, maybe sometimes.
It's not a social drug at all.
Do you drink?
I don't really like drinking. I'll have fun. Like, I had fun. I drank this past weekend. I had fun, but I'm not like, I don't drink that much.
What was the situation? Like at a bar?
Yes, I was in Texas and I sang some karaoke.
Oh, you made it.
I made it to Texas.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And you sang some karaoke in Texas. What's your karaoke song?
Well, I talked about this in the last episode. It was Since You've Been Gone and by Kelly Clarkson and Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne.
Okay. Yeah, those seem like solid choices, I guess.
What's your song?
Oh, it's Crosstown Traffic by Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
Because there's no singing in it,
Okay.
Not really.
So what do you do?
Well, you just say, like, I'm not the only soul who's accused of hit and run. There's no crooning or anything like that.
Wow.
And it's a good one to start with. I have a few that I'll do, though. That's the first one.
Second and third?
Brown Sugar, Rolling Stones,
Yeah.
because I know all the words to that.
You did say, put on the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And you did. We listened to one song. That was the end of that.
I said, wow, so you don't want to listen to me talk.
Yeah, of course. Take it personally. That is such a mistake. Do you take things personally? You were just busting my balls. You're just trying to make me feel bad. You're trying to put a man on the defensive. Women know if they can put a man on the defensive, then they are in charge of everything, and they're always trying to do it.
Yeah.
I'm like a youngest, right? So being a youngest child in a family, I don't take things. I don't ever do shit like that. That's not my thing.
How many older siblings do you have?
Let's see. There's Santino, Fredo, Connie, and me. I'm the youngest.
Why do you feel like being a younger sibling makes you not do shit like that?
Because you're used to not being in charge of anything, in command of anything. All the shit rolls downhill. All the best you hope for is a fair shake. That people will include you and be nice to you.
Okay.
That is the best it can get. You're not trying to take the shit over. That's how it seems to me as a youngest. Now I'm also the most talented in my family. I'm probably the best looking.
So it seems like there's a little bit of ego that comes with being the youngest.
Well, I mean, I don't expect you to co-sign this. You've never met my family. So I don't think it's ego. It's just,
Interesting.
My sister was a junior miss. She won a junior miss pageant. Her talent was flute.
Okay.
And this was like a million years ago. But she married her high school sweetheart. Instead of going to college, she started having kids, right? Which probably goes against every liberal value that she has. And she's the lone liberal in the family.
Interesting.
Yeah, she's kind of intolerable about it.
Yeah. I can
Really
see that.
masky and went a year without hugging her son and stuff. I love her, but I mean, it's just weird to see somebody that brainwashed, and
Yeah.
they're in your family. So I guess she was pretty nice. I mean, like as a younger person, I think she was. Of course, she's pretty, right? But I mean,
Right.
she's fucking in her 60s or whatever. So
Yeah. So now,
I wouldn't hit it.
yeah, youngest takes the lead.
Youngest takes the lead on that shit.
It's so, okay, I guess two things I want to ask you. But first, also, usually the first thing right away, I'll just be like, I will ask this question way earlier in the podcast, so I just should ask it now.
Okay.
Pat, what is the best advice you have ever received?
Well, my dad was in business, and he told me always keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Because everybody was, in his employ, they're all businessmen.
Right.
And based on that, anything's possible.
So I've heard this so many times, and I just have a hard time even understand. Like, how would I put that into practice? It's something I've heard a million times.
Well, say there's somebody that you don't trust, right? Mm-hmm. And you don't know what they might do.
Right.
But if you're separated from them and you're not communicating with them, they know that you know something's up, so they come at you with that knowledge. You're giving them knowledge by letting them know what you're thinking. You don't want them to know what you're thinking if they're your enemy. Therefore, you keep them around and you look for clues as to what they're trying to do.
So don't let your enemies know they're your enemies?
Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
Exactly. Let them think everything's fine. One guy my dad was in business with, and and then I was in business with him briefly after my dad died. There was a hotel situation, and he was trying to. It was weird. There was a sort of a battle for financial control of these hotels, and I wanted to keep him in the loop, and stay close with him because who knew what he might do. And as it turned out, yeah, shit was pretty fucked up.
It's so hard to keep your enemies close.
Really?
How do you do that?
Well, you keep your friends close. You keep your enemies even closer.
I can't even keep my friends close. How the fuck am I going to keep my enemies closer?
Well, you have to think in a more Machiavellian kind of way, But as a woman, the problem is with being a woman is that you already internalized most of that stuff. So you just recognize it as like a natural state of being alive to try to manipulate somebody.
Wait.
It's natural. Just like with the situation I was talking about before, if you can put a guy on the defensive, then you're sort of in the driver's seat. And so a lot of things that women consider to be just common sense for everybody, it's just women that are aware of these things. And that's why you get so angry at men thinking they get it. But they don't. They don't know it's like you seem crazy to us. Not you in particular, but women.
I'm not following. Can you take it? Can you walk me through this?
Can I break this down a little more?
Yeah.
I think that you know exactly what I'm talking about. You just need to see the proof.
Well, give me an example of what you're talking about.
Okay, like you think that a guy might be, if he doesn't call you or text you back right away or something, I'm just trying to think of an example, that he knows that's fucking with you and he's doing it to fuck with you.
Well, no, I think, he's not interested in me. That's what I think.
Right. He's signaling something by
not
that.
intentionally, just like, he doesn't want to text me. Okay, you don't like me.
He could be busy. He's most likely...
He's busy, but I'm busy all the time, and I take a shit and I text the person I like.
Clip that for this week. That right there. I like that.
Thanks.
I take a shit and I text who I like.
There's always time. There's always time.
Yeah, I get it.
There's always 10 seconds to say, hey, thinking of you. It's genuinely not fucking hard.
Right, but maybe he missed the text, though, is what I'm saying. Maybe anything. Okay, forget that example. If that's not a good example for you. Whatever a guy's doing that's annoying he might just be doing it just by being him. You know, he's not trying to bulldoze you or anything. He's not trying to be, I've been accused of gaslighting a lot by women. And I think that's a form of projection, which is another way.
It's a tossed around word, yeah.
Yeah. Because if you're telling me I'm gaslighting, I'm being sincere, right? Then you're the one gaslighting. You're trying to convince me that my reality's bullshit.
Yeah.
All I know is that, once you said that, then the first one who gets accused is kind of like the gaslighter, right? It seems.
I feel like I just can't even use that. That word is just makes it. As soon as you use the word gaslighting, the whole argument goes out the door.
Do you know where it comes from?
The gas lights on the street?
Yeah, well, it comes from a play where there were gas lights inside this home, and this guy was trying to drive his wife crazy. And so, like, they'd be on, they'd be off, and he would, like, fuck with her and stuff like that through these lights. That's where that came from.
I also feel like, okay, say you are gaslighting someone. Cool. Do you want a prize? I don't understand. What does that do?
Well, it gives you a sense of power.
No, but like you don't, so you accept responsibility and apologize? Like, I don't know why people are like, he gaslit me. Okay, he didn't hit you in the face.
Maybe you should have been a little, I mean, I would never go around complaining about being gaslit because it makes you look like you're kind of weak. Because
like
you have to generally be bullied into thinking a certain way.
Like, I've been gaslit a million times, and I've also accidentally done that to other people. I just feel like
no, you haven't. It's not an accidental thing.
I mean, I just feel like people in pain hurt other people, and that's just what happens in relationships. People hurt each other.
Well, I guess that's true. People in pain do hurt other people, and I don't know why that is. Because I guess pain is a source of anger, and then you act out of that.
Yeah.
So people acting out of pain are just the biggest nightmare.
But that's like like when you're fighting in a relationship, you're both just acting out of pain, and you're both being like.
But that's not gaslighting, though. It's
gaslighting tends to come out of that.
Like gaslighting is something a little more extreme. Like, okay, I knew a woman, right, who would tell me things that I knew weren't true, right? But it was a low stakes relationship at the time, so I'm like, let it go. I don't care. I only see her when I'm, in.
Right.
And then that builds up over time. And then, like, if you challenge her on any of it, like, I don't think that really happened or whatever, then you'll spend the next 13 hours, like, in a struggle session with just being verbally abused by this person or whatever. By this time, you do want to kind of figure it out. But then after that, just don't bother. It's not worth it. So now you have this built-in kind of dread of trying to settle the truth.
Yeah.
You're forced to kind of like live in this world, that where what they say is true, even if you know it isn't. And by then, like I said, the relationships progress to a point where you're
That's true.
kind of into it. And so that's a way of like, it's a whole thing. It's a whole process. It's not just like lying to somebody or being upset at them or something.
It's kind of like creates a false reality of a relationship, or like a false narrative of a relationship, where like you're like, they see it a certain way and they kind of project that onto what it is. And they're like, do you know, like,
or they
that?
want you thinking one thing that
Right.
places you at a disadvantage.
Right.
And they don't live in that world. It's just you.
Yeah.
So it's like even worse. It's like she had set up a whole world with, from not a whole world, but I mean, like there was a lot of shit going on in that world that wasn't going on in reality. Mm-hmm. And she knew better, and nobody else in the world. And it becomes a very lonely place.
Yeah.
Because you're the only one there. And like I had
And you feel like a crazy person.
and you feel like a hostage.
Yeah.
And there's nobody to confirm any of that shit with, and you're just, you're just out of luck, and then you wind up in a really bad position. It's bad. It's really bad. It's really a bad thing to do. It's really a bad thing to do.
What would your advice be to someone that was in that position right now?
Just, what? Do what you have to do to separate yourself out of it without giving and tell people about it. Definitely tell people who aren't immediately involved with that person, your friends that they're not friends with. Explain. You're not stuck in it. I could have walked away from the thing that I was in at any time. I had no obligation. I could have done that, but I didn't. It didn't feel like that at the time because it felt like, there's going to be some consequences. I mean, and there were some consequences actually, but you still got to do it.
Why do you think it's so hard for people to walk out of toxic relationships where that's happening? Because I feel like that's like a very common thread for like a lot of people listening, or a lot of people when, in my experience, if I've ever gone to someone with a relationship problem, the first thing they say is like, oh, I've been there.
Yeah. I think, number one, the sex. You become dependent on the sex. That's probably more men, but you're just like, I do enjoy that aspect of it still. It's not just constantly bad. So after some bad shit happens, for a while, there'll be apologies and tears or something like that. And you feel a kind of forgiveness because this is the person that you wanted to be with to begin with, this reasonable person who now is in the room. So they have the ability to go from reasonable to totally fucking, nuts. So understand that process is never going to end. They're not going to clean up that other part of their, that is a feature and not a bug. It's never going to get fixed.
Do you think people change?
Sure. People in general, yeah, they change. People, they can. I know I have. I've changed a lot. But it takes effort, and you have to have self-awareness.
What do you like? What can you elaborate?
What have I changed?
No, like what do you mean? Like I feel like there's this kind of thing where people go, people don't change.
Yeah,
People
I
don't
know.
change.
Well, they don't automatically change like in a few weeks or something, and they generally not going to change just because they love you so much and you want them to.
No,
they don't
it's kinda
feel
like
any
they have
empathy.
to go to rock bottom.
Right. They have to change for themselves because it's like because people like you keep departing their lives probably or something
Right.
like that, and they're alone. Or I don't even know if that would do it. There's an endless supply of suckers. So, it's tough. Somebody who has like a mood disorder, a personality disorder is going to have a hard time recognizing the need to do that, like BPD or, I don't know, bipolar or any of that shit, narcissistic personality disorder. I think they're going to really be like, forget it. That's probably never going to happen. I mean, that's just an adaptation that's just stuck. That's there. But I think that you can change if you... it's more of an action thing than a words thing, and by taking some right actions, you can change. But like I said, you mentioned rock bottom. I think that's really what does it.
I do feel like that's what takes a lot of people to come to turn themselves around. It's interesting because I've definitely been in many relationships where I feel like I'm being gaslit, but I'm like, I definitely make excuses for that person.
You make excuses.
Yeah, because I'm like, I get myself to a point where I'm like, yeah, well, they're just doing that. Do you know what I'm saying?
And it feels like acceptance, but it's really more just like...
it's just like, I know that they're doing that and that's not real, so whatever.
they're doing that, and that's not real. Doesn't it? But like, what are you looking for in a relationship? With like and just in general, whoever these people are, what were you looking for? Were you looking for the same thing with all of them, like intimacy,
Right.
connection, shit like that?
Yeah.
And what they were doing kind of like inhibited that, I guess, in your mind.
Yeah.
And so you were willing to compromise your own needs for their,
For
to accommodate how they are.
100%.
So I guess your problem in that situation is you don't get into relationships with people who have the same needs or wants from a relationship as you.
I think so too.
Now, why do you think that is?
I don't know. Paul, why do you think?
Why people are scared of like breaking up and stuff? Is that the question?
He hasn't been listening.
He
for a couple
really has
minutes.
not been listening, huh?
There's a lot to do back here.
It's okay, Paul. We love you.
He's catching up.
He's catching up. It's good.
Well, I think that you probably have not really. You probably just follow your nose into whatever
I
relationship.
do. I'm impulsive and yeah.
So there's no discussion of it. There's no.
No.
Yeah. And before you get into something serious with somebody, monogamous, exclusive,
Yeah.
then you should most likely see if that person is, hey, you're like, here's what I want. Do you want that?
But people aren't on it. Like, first of all, it's part of growing up is like learning what you want and what you are willing to give, and also knowing to ask that, and also knowing when you're with someone who's being honest and communicative about like what they need and want in a partner and are capable of giving. I feel like a lot of times people will give a lot in the beginning of a relationship and then kind of like, I think a lot of people experience someone being very giving in the beginning of a relationship and then kind of like dipping out at the end, like after a few months.
Yeah, it's what causes the end, right? Or signals the beginning of the end,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. It's kind of like the honeymoon phase or whatever.
Yeah, but that's, I don't know what to say about that except that, like, they didn't want what you wanted.
Right.
And
they didn't want you.
not long term. Well, they did. Well, you.
It's so hard to not
connection,
think like
right?
someone. It's so hard not to be like, oh man, that person. It's so hard not to be like, oh, we didn't want the same things. We didn't like fulfill each other this way, and instead to be like, instead, I feel like it's so easy to be like, I wasn't good enough. This person didn't want me. Like that's where people go instead of like thinking about it,
Like in
meeting
an
each other's
impersonal
needs.
way.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with that.
Because the first thing is like, well, if I was good enough, it wouldn't matter if like you needed this or I needed that because love would be enough. And I feel like that's kind of like the dialogue. I feel like part of like growing up is realizing that like love really isn't enough for anything.
No. Necessary, but not sufficient, I guess.
Maybe.
I mean, because like love, yeah, you're right. Love is meaningless. when you talk about like getting along with somebody on a day-to-day basis, living with them and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And you can love somebody that you fucking hate. In fact, if you don't hate them, you probably don't love them.
I hate a lot of people that I love.
Yeah, of course.
I fucking hate them.
I've hated every woman that I've ever loved.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I've lost friends over hating every guy that I've been with.
We've lost friends.
Yeah, just from talking about how much I hate them.
Really? They were like, I can't stand this shit. This
They're
is
like,
too-
shut up about how much you hate your boyfriend.
Well, you need to tell the guy. You need to tell the guy.
Not in this current relationship, just in the past.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Tell the past ones.
Well,
Do you still hate them?
no.
Well, you should have been talking to whatever guy you were talking about.
No, I just should have left the relationship.
Oh, you'd still be in it saying you hated him.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
Yes.
I fucking hate him. Yeah.
Just be like, I should have get off the pot, Natalie. But yeah, not anymore. Now I'm just great.
Yeah. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so long as you land in a happy place.
I'm in a very happy place. In fact, my island on Animal Crossing is called Happy Island.
What's Animal Crossing? I'm kidding. I know what it is. It's Happy Land.
It's called Happy Island.
Happy
Pat.
Island. Oh, sorry. Okay. I don't play
Oh,
the
your
game.
glasses.
Thank you. Now I can go back to looking like that.
Have
woman
you
from
not
the
been able to see?
Old Navy commercials? They're just reading glasses. I just haven't been able to read.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I've been missing them. Do you have them?
I forgot them in my car.
Okay, good. Okay.
So I wanted to share with you occasionally. So I should have saved this for the show, but right before the show, I told Pat, occasionally I will get a DM. I'll get a message. I'll get something in my DMs, and I will share it. I'll only share it when appropriate.
When would it be inappropriate?
If it was genuine, I wouldn't share it.
Oh, okay.
Like people send me things that are very genuine, and
So
I'm
these
not
people
gonna-
are being sarcastic,
No, it's just if you come at me in my DMs and you're just like,
and they don't know, and you don't know that these people. You've never met them.
no, but like if you send me like a heartfelt message, I'm not going to share it and put you on blast. But if I've never spoken to you before and you're hitting on me, then yeah, you're being an animal.
Noted. Let's hear what you're gonna. Somebody is apparently
Being an animal.
Okay, listen to me. I'm Italian, 100% real. You know what that means? That I could make you homemade pasta or pizza if I only knew how to cook. But unfortunately, I can't do anything besides making horrible jokes. So my proposal is this. You want to go out on a date with me? I think that's a good idea.
wow. That guy, what a jackass!
I know.
What an arrogant jackass!
Tell him, Pat.
Don't you think?
I think so. It's ridiculous.
I could cook this for you if only I could cook for tough shit. Anyway, go on date with me. Yeah, what a nightmare person.
Wild. Not even anything. I mean, that was disrespectful.
Yeah, that's a nothing message.
It is. It reminds me of like I used to work at a coffee shop. It'd really piss me off if someone asked me out the first time they went in to get coffee. You fucking go get coffee 5 times. Then you ask me out. Say hi. Develop a rapport.
Really?
Yeah, fuck you. You come in the first time. Oh, the cute barista. I want that. I'll leave my number. No. You build that rapport, motherfucker.
Well, what if they did it properly, though, and it was the first time? What if they were like, I usually don't do this, but I'm looking at you, and I'm sorry. You're just you're exactly what I like. I said that to a girl one time I had built a rapport with, though. I guess it doesn't really count.
Yeah, it's because...
But what if it's really, you can tell, the guy just like, wow, just really taken with you.
He does that. You can tell that
That guy right there?
No, people do that. Like, if that guy did that for the first time, that's a thing that guy does. And if he doesn't do it at coffee
move,
shops,
you mean?
he does it at bars. And that's the kind of guy he is.
Oh, he's just always...
He's a fucking...
Really? Because I've said that to a person once.
And you built
and it
a
was
rapport
absolutely
first.
true. Well, I knew her a little bit. No, actually, I didn't. That's when I met her. I did say that when I met her. Yeah, I mean,
she would.
We ended up like having some interaction or whatever. It wasn't a love connection or whatever. But I think that opening might have been so awkward. Maybe I don't know that. I think we just really had nothing in common. I think it was all just physical.
Well, if you build the rapport, at least the first time you hang out, you can joke about lattes. You can be like, "Oh, is my order annoying? Oh, well, remember that one time I paid with a $5 bill and you gave me 50 cents in pennies instead of quarters?"
Guy sounds charming. It's a real meet cute.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Why don't you tell him that? Why don't you say, look, come in 5 more times and sort of flirt?
Well, I had fucked. Let's see. I worked there 4 years, and I
Fucked. What?
2 customers.
You fucked 2 customers as a barista? You're the reason
They
guys
were
hit
my
on
crushtomers. They were my crushtomers, is what you call them.
That is the reason people hit on baristas.
And I'll tell you about them, okay? One, he was adorable. He was a doll. He was a doll.
Okay, great.
A bit short. I had a crush on him for so long. And you know what bothers me, Pat? These guys, they have a crush on you. They make you feel like, oh, then you hang out with them. You sit on a bench. You talk about tattoos. You hang out 2 or 3 times. All of a sudden, adios. I don't know where he went. He didn't care, and he stopped getting coffee for a while. Then, this other one, another customer.
Wait, did you say you fucked the guy?
This one, yeah.
Where did you find? I mean, you just said you sit on a bench. You talk about tattoos. Where was the fucking?
His apartment.
I know, but at what point? Like before the bench talk?
After the bench talk.
After the bench talk.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you got what you wanted.
Well, yeah, but I always want something more, Pat.
Okay.
Okay. So
the next guy.
The second guy, we go, whatever, we fuck, blah, blah, blah. Nothing really works out. Then, you wouldn't believe this. He continues to come to the coffee shop. Not only that, he brings in whatever girl he fucks the night before. He continues. Rude, no manners. So that's why you have to be careful if you fuck a customer.
He was, just taking a victory lap there.
He'd always just be like, yeah, I'll have 2 lattes.
One is for her.
One's for her. I spit in it.
You never spit in any lattes.
Huh?
I don't believe you ever spit in any lattes.
No, I would never spit in a latte.
That is good. You have to have standards in food service. But, I mean, this guy...
That was crazy that he did that.
But he didn't owe you to not do that, right?
It's a very rude. Very rude. If
He's supposed to switch his coffee shop just because some girl he fucks works there?
It's so rude. If I fucked a bartender, I would wait before I went there with a dude.
Oh, you mean this was like the next day?
It was in the next few months. Like, it was unacceptable.
Next few months?
No, it was too much.
You should be over it. 2 months.
No,
You're
it
over
was
it.
too much.
Oh, okay.
He was my customer.
Yeah, I know he wasn't.
He was.
He was just a guy you fucked.
No, he was my customer.
You had a crush on him for real? You hated like losing. Did he just stop calling you?
No, I mean, he was just a dude.
Nobody
but
calls anybody, but texting or whatever.
He
He just faded off.
No, I think he hit on my friend or something.
Oh, so you quit talking to him because of that?
Yeah.
Well, fuck, you broke it off.
Yeah, but it's rude. It's no manners. It's my shop.
He already.
I grind the beans.
Then you should have spit in his coffee. That's crazy. So
I think
he
it's
hit on
rude.
your friend. He talked to her. Hit on her
Yeah.
in front of you while you're there, or like he called
It
her.
was DM, like a texty.
Wow. And what did she tell you?
Of course.
Okay. And so because women stick together
We do.
on stuff like that. Most of them.
Yeah, not the bad ones.
Some of them don't, I guess. But you guys have a committee that you have to run stuff by to see if you're mad about something.
No, I don't have a committee, and that's one of the reasons. Yeah, I don't have a committee at all.
You sure?
I don't have a female committee.
Don't you have a female committee that you sort of like when something's going on and maybe you should be mad about it, you sort of like tell them about it, you float it, and then they kind of like tell you, wow, fuck that or whatever. And they vote informally one by one, and then you know how you should feel. They shape your opinion about your relationship even though they don't know shit. The committee.
Fuck the committee. You're right.
Yeah.
I always when my friend whenever she comes to me about like fights with her boyfriend, I'm like, listen, sweetie, this is not a fight. You need to chill. This is nothing.
Wow.
Because it's crazy.
Because they come with it, they get upset about everything, right?
And I'm like, I love her. I feel like her other friends are like, yes, be mad at him. So I want to be the person that's like, no, you guys are actually fine. I wish I had this problem. I wish that was my problem.
Is that legit? Or do you just say that just to chill her out?
No, it's legit.
It's legit. You're just like, this is really nothing.
Yeah, I wish that was my problem.
God, I wish we go specific. I know we can't. But if we could, that would be cool. Because I'd like to hear what a nothing problem is.
Yeah.
Because I know that the nothing problems that I have had to deal with, I mean, unfucking believable. I'll tell you one. Okay. This person always wanted to have more, like adventures, right?
Okay.
more excitement, do exciting things.
Okay.
So, and this was years ago. We were in Vegas.
Okay.
Went there and it was working.
Okay.
I got an opportunity because, while we were there, a guy that I know happens to tell me, I got this helicopter tour thing. I'm not going to be able to use this. Why don't you use it? Great. Get it? I'm thinking she'll be blown away by this helicopter ride. This will be awesome,
It's
right?
very nice.
And we do it. Yeah, because I wasn't going to I had other shit to do. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do that alone or just like get somebody. Although, I've been on a helicopter before. So we go and it's awesome. The views were, turning sideways and doing all this stuff. It was really fun. It's short, but it was fun. We get off. And as we're getting off, I say something to the people some of the other people that were on there, like, hey, it was something else, right? Oh, wow, or excitement, just bullshit stuff. I'm talking 8-10 seconds. And I see she's crying in the car, and she's livid that I didn't share that peak moment of excitement with her. She accused me of getting that helicopter ride just to hurt her. And we broke up over it. After hours of just verbal abuse. That's the kind of shit that I don't...
Your picker is off.
Talk about nothing, right? Talk about nothing.
Really bad.
I could not... I was just like, well, I don't feel bad about that, and I don't think I will ever be able to feel bad for you about that. That's outrageous.
That's crazy. Women are crazier than...
That's crazy.
I got into a fight once because... excuse me. I wasn't excited enough to see her at the airport.
Yeah, that I feel like I could see that.
How excited? Were you actually excited to see her?
No, I wasn't excited, and that's what the fight was about.
Oh, okay. So she was right that you weren't excited.
No, I was like, traffic, let's go. Come on.
How long had it been since you'd seen her?
Like a month, probably.
Oh.
Well, why weren't you excited to see her?
Because we had to go.
Well,
damn, I thought you guys were going to take my side on this one.
You didn't miss her?
I did, but we could do that when we get to the house.
She was not able to recognize that you were just feeling anxious, preoccupied, and so
yeah,
she interpreted that as a lack of excitement to see her, but really you're just caught up in your own moment there.
Had you texted her before, like, I can't wait to see you?
I mean, this was years ago. I'm going to say yes, I did.
Shit, Paul.
It's really backfired.
But you were excited, right? But it was just covered up with anxiety.
Paul was not excited.
Yeah, no, it was ending at this point. I wasn't excited.
Oh, well, okay, then she's picking up on a correct vibe.
I don't think you were excited. I mean, the thing is, once you...
You can end it easily by not picking her up at the airport.
Good point.
Paul, I think you weren't excited to pick her up.
No, I wasn't. You're right.
But that's, I mean, it is, damn, Paul.
Well, I mean, if they're breaking up after a month of being apart,
That's a long time.
you'd think that you'd be kind of like, well, we're gonna give it another shot,
Yeah.
or fuck her, she can take a cab.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice that
So it speaks well of your loyalty.
you were like, oh, fuck, I got to see you again, and I got to pick you up from the airport, get in the car,
No,
bitch.
it wasn't like that. It was just she got here and I was like, all right, let's go. I don't know. She wanted like
Flowers.
Yeah, she wanted stuff like that, and I was just kind of like,
At
hey.
least a smile and a kiss.
Yeah.
That's in between. That's okay. At least you picked her up from the airport.
Yeah.
At least you picked her up.
Yeah.
At least you picked her up from the airport. What are you thinking, Pat?
Yeah, he did do that. It's like I said, it speaks well of his loyalty.
Yeah, because I've been with people that wouldn't pick me up from the airport.
Even when things were good.
Like,
I'm not surprised. That's a big hassle. People consider that to be a big hassle.
well, I drive people to the airport quite frequently.
Not a big hassle for you.
It is quite a hassle, but I overextend myself because I don't have value, and I feel like that's the reason people will be with me, because I do things for them because I'm insecure, and I feel like if I do things for someone, then they'll want to be with me because I don't have enough self-value.
You're really working hard to sell that because why is that?
Yeah.
Why is that exactly?
You know what? I've noticed a pattern. I've noticed a pattern in myself. I've noticed a pattern where I'll be like, I do this, and this. And all I want is like your love and acceptance in a lot of relationships. And I feel like it's a problem with boundaries, and it's like an insecure thing. And I think a lot of people do this in different ways, but I definitely, it's a problem. It's a thing I do.
What's the problem with it exactly?
The problem is I feel like I do things for other people. You're not supposed to do things for other people, A, expecting anything in return.
Right.
And B, I feel like I do things for other people out of insecurity because I don't like feel like just me is enough. Like I need to like be contributing in some other way.
But that's part of who you are, right? And you should be contributing, but you shouldn't, like you said, do anything on a quid pro quo basis expecting the other person to recognize that. I knew a woman who did that too. And like she would do something expecting like a very direct sort of quid pro quo that was untalked about, unmentioned, inside. I thought you just were doing that because you wanted to.
Right.
It's not that way. So yeah, but her reaction was not to like break it down like that. I guess it was kind of like that too. So you end up feeling cheated, but you're setting the person up to underachieve.
Well,
It's a trap.
I'm like enabling
it's kind of a
because
trap.
like I'm agreeing to do stuff, but at the same time, it's like, well, yeah, I want to be appreciated.
But what if this person doesn't want to do, the sort of thing? What if it's just that, and they're just gratefully accepting these things, whatever it is you're doing, but just kind of like, yeah, I don't know what to do. What do you want? I bet you hear that a lot. What do you want?
No, I don't hear that a lot.
Oh, because you're saying you just want love and acceptance.
Yeah.
But what does love and acceptance mean to you that they're not doing?
Dinner,
That's just food.
quality time.
Oh, quality time. Okay.
Maybe how's
You ever-
your day? You look nice today.
Right. Being interested in your life. Compliments. Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation. Yeah.
So what? I guess your love language. What is your love language primarily?
I would say words of affirmation, quality time.
Okay. Well, I think that's a very admirable set of love languages to have: quality time and words of affirmation. I think you're thinking properly, and it's a pleasure to spend this time with you too.
Are you ending my podcast for
No,
me?
I'm
You
just-
fucking animal.
I'm not ending it. I thought we were just starting. No. Look, it's good to know that. It's good to know that. And have you ever been with somebody who had different ones, and you don't know how to fucking?
No,
Make that work?
I can appease anyone's love language. I can literally bend over backwards for any language, any puzzle, anything.
You're willing to do that.
I am willing.
And it's a matter of finding somebody who's willing, and you have. Thank God. That's good that you have
Yes.
that now, because Jesus Christ, man, it's like when you're in a relationship where
a
you're not
jungle
getting
out
the
there.
shit you want, it's really bad.
Yes.
That's worse than being alone.
Yes.
It's a punishing thing. I mean, look, I'm divorced 3 times, and so
I know,
I'm
it's very, very
experienced with that.
impressive.
I'm undefeated.
You're undefeated.
That's right.
Third time's the charm.
No, it wasn't.
No.
It wasn't a charm at all.
I'm so, I was engaged.
I think I knew that.
I'm so glad we never got married. Just so I never have to say I was divorced.
Oh, right. Well, I don't mind it. Why? It's not so bad. Divorce is hope. Because when you're married and shit sucks, you're like,
Yeah.
man, this is always
Right.
going to be this way. And then you get divorced. Wow. It's like somebody
Yeah.
turned the lights on,
Oh, yeah.
and you can be,
Yeah.
you start the whole thing over again.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I'm not engaged yet. No.
Yeah. I mean, it's embarrassing saying you're engaged.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I hate the word fiance. It's disgusting.
I hate the word fiance
It's-
too.
I hate it. He'd always get mad at me that I'd be like, this is my boyfriend. He'd be like, why? I'm your fiance. And I'm just like, I can't say that word. It's disgusting.
Guys
then I
never
started
use
saying,
that word, really?
I started saying partner, but that sounds like I'm like
Like you're queer.
or a social justice warrior. Like, it's just like I really hate the word fiance. It just sounds crazy.
I had a joke about that along the line. I had a joke about how fiance is like, it sounds nice and French or whatever, but nobody ever uses it. You get married and you don't have a fiance. That's what it was. You have a spouse,
Yeah.
which sounds so like less fancy than fiance.
Yeah, no. It's not a cute. But it really, so we tattooed each other's initials to our fingers.
Okay.
Have I talked about this on the podcast? I don't think so, right, Paul?
Not since I've been here.
Okay.
What do you guys? You guys had eight
No,
names.
So he tattooed N and I tattooed J here, right? My ex.
Uh-huh.
So then we broke up, and like maybe a okay, it was 3 months after we broke up. He had like a new girlfriend all over his Instagram, and he posted a picture of her like doing a home tattoo over my name, over this tattoo. And he wrote like Brittany covering up my mistakes as the
Jesus.
caption.
What a dumb fucking thing.
And
That's
then
so
like
silly.
she reposted it too. And I was just like, it's like I didn't want to be with this person, but it's like a crazy fucking
crazy compliment that he's still fucking in any frame of mind to be thinking anything about you at all. That's so dumb. I mean, that's a gift to you.
What
a gift.
It was honestly, it was very upsetting. I felt
Really?
I was so upset about it. I mean, I found her LinkedIn. I mean, I was so mad.
See, you take people at their intent. You know that they intend that to bother you, so you let it bother you just because they intended it that way.
I
But
was
fuck that. Look at the
so
actual
hurt.
damage, and look what it
mean-
actually says. I mean, like, why is somebody like so upset about this shit that they're doing that? He could have said that N was anything. You know what I mean? Like, why
It
get
was
into
crazy to post that on it. I mean, it was just both of them posting. It was just such a fuck you. Like I just like we had tattoos of each other's names. I wasn't in a hurry to cover up his name because I was like, I love this person. We were engaged. Like, you know, it didn't end well, but like this was an important person to me. Like, I'm not in a hurry to cover this up.
You know what? Covering up a mistake doesn't correct it. So, and I don't know that. It sounds like you handled it much more maturely than he did.
Well, and then I have this fucking. I mean, it's like a crazy giant block like here. It looks even. It's crazy looking.
Why are you like acting like you're going to show me and then
It's
like,
here.
pulling it away?
It's like a giant.
The thing on the side?
Yeah, it's a giant. You're really blind, or?
No, there's no form
Oh
to
no,
it.
it's just a blob of.
Yeah, it looks great.
All my blobs are where names were. That there was a name.
You're shitting me.
There was.
That's all your blobs?
This was a name.
Yeah.
This was a name.
My God, you've had some serious relationships.
There was. Wait, no. This was a name.
That's a lot.
And.
Oh, wow. You've had 5 guys' names tattooed on you?
I've had 3 guys' names, and my ex Jake. It was like a thing that we did together. Is get each other's names.
Full names.
No, it's just like we would go get tattoos together and be like, what should we get? I don't know, our names. And then we bought a tattoo gun and we just had a little too much fun.
Oh, okay. You bought a tattoo gun.
Yeah.
So you're not qualified to do that.
No.
Okay. Jesus. You only get one body, you know?
And it sure is fun to play with.
just totally amateur tattoo gunning all over. Yeah, whatever. Freehand it. It's fine.
My practice leg. Look, I did these.
That's a practice leg.
It looks like crazy.
That's great. Oh, that's so strange.
No, so look, I did these cherries. This looks fucking I mean, it's just a crazy.
The cherries look like a dick and balls.
It's horrible. It's horrible what's happened in this world. It's horrible.
How come you have no colors? You have only black.
Because I am a dark soul. Just kidding.
You can't be a dark soul getting people's names tattooed on you. That is hope. That's a
I
very
was hope.
hopeful.
I thought, but I was.
How long did you date him before you tattooed his name, initials? or
Well,
whatever?
the first time I got his name, we had known each other.
the first time.
We had known each other for.
This was the same guy's name over and over again on you.
Do you want to know the origin? Here, we'll break it down. Okay, we're only 47 minutes in. Okay, the first guy whose name I got, it was me and him. I like loved him so much. He was the Capricorn.
What are your ages?
He was 15 years older than me. I was 22 and he was whatever the math is.
37.
Yeah. And he had a tattoo gun at home and we're like, and then we tattooed each other's names.
Where?
So here.
That's that one,
And then
okay.
his was like here.
Did he have a long name?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Then I covered that up.
You were 22.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then my next serious
And how long had you known him, though?
I don't know, a couple months.
Okay, fine. So it's relevant,
I
though.
loved. I was like, I was really, I had a tumor. No one knows that I had my family. It was like a dark time. It was like
A tumor?
Yeah.
And your family. It was a dark time.
It was a dark time,
Right.
and I was like, all right. Then it just proceeded onward.
Okay.
Then I got this one. Was the next boyfriend.
Yeah.
Covered that one up.
How long before you got the tattoo? That's my question on all of
This
them.
one, it usually happens in the first month. This
The
one.
honeymoon phase.
Yeah, this one. Then I got this one. Cover that one right up. Okay. Scribble, scribble. Then
Wow.
Jake, then him and I, we got each other's names 5 times throughout the relationship. We were together for 2 years. Then we broke up.
2 years.
And I won't be getting another name.
Well, never say never.
I am with Lewis now, and I don't have his name. I don't plan on getting it. So
Just get a big L right here, like a big cursive L.
he doesn't want me to get his name
Why
because
not?
he doesn't think it's special. He doesn't want to be another guy.
Yeah, that's true.
He doesn't want to be another name.
That is true.
And honestly, I can't afford any more cover-ups. They're really not. It's too much.
Okay. But there's never going to be a cover up. You guys will be together forever.
Oh.
Right? Ideally.
Yes.
You got to have that belief in it.
Oh no! Duh. Of course.
Well, I mean, at this point, does it seem unrealistic for you to say forever on stuff, on anything? I mean, are you that broken?
Yeah.
So you figure all good things come to an end at this point. Fatalistic kind of attitude about relationships.
No. I think we could be together forever. I can't make that. Like, who knows?
Who knows is right.
Yeah, we might be. Maybe.
Maybe you will.
Hopefully.
But in the event, you don't want to pay for any more cover-ups.
I can't afford another dark blob.
And he doesn't want it anyway.
He doesn't want to. No. So, Paul, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, if you get Lewis's name tattooed, please leave out the J.
Yeah. The other thing that with Lewis's name is everyone has a fucking Lewis tattoo. Like, all his fans get Legion of Skanks tattoos. Everyone that works here has a Legion of Skanks tattoo. So it's really like, what? I don't want to be another one that has a Lewis tattoo. Now I'm not special for having his name. Every other guy I've dated, if I got their name, I was the only one in the world that had their name because they weren't like, they didn't have any notoriety. And it was very special. But everyone's got Lewis's name. So it's like, yeah, you're another bitch with my name. Congratulations, bitch.
Yeah. I get that. Sure. If people are doing that everywhere.
Yeah.
I've only got one guy. One guy has a tattoo of my podcast. It's on his leg. He did it because we needed somebody to get a tattoo for an episode, and he did. It looks great. The guy who did it is a renowned tattoo artist,
Really?
great page and everything like that. And he was in New York because he was just visiting to do some, I don't know, like apprenticeship at some place here or something. I don't know, but
Wow.
It came out great. But that's it. That is it.
Yeah.
One dude. And we're not even in love or anything.
Well, if someone wanted to get my name, I would be pretty happy about that.
Natalie.
It looks gorgeous in cursive.
Yeah, well, I guess it does probably. I don't know. They're not teaching cursive anymore to school kids.
Why?
Because, I don't know, that's a dumbing down process.
Yeah.
And I think they don't want them to be able to read the original Constitution.
Probably.
I think that might be it.
They can scrub it from.
They can't even sign their
Anyway.
names. A lot of kids can't even sign their names.
Kids, I mean, that's really sad.
Kids in Baltimore are like 600 out of 800 or something like that were like fucking illiterate.
Really?
Graduated reading like kindergartners. It's terrible what's happening in schools. But they got lots of tattoos, I bet. Maybe.
I mean, yeah, that sucks. So they graduated illiterate.
Yes,
in
they
fifth
did.
grade.
Yeah, to go out and be
Why?
criminals.
How did that happen? How did that happen?
They just stopped teaching them things and they stopped passing them regardless, because otherwise it would just be like every first grade class would be filled with morons. And, they would fail a lot of school.
Do you have a solution for that?
Yeah, right. Just, maintain a standard. Insist on standards. And
Oh,
if
wow, we
if
have
people
a
don't
video.
achieve them, then fuck them. You're fucked. What is going on?
Damn.
No, it's just 77% of Baltimore high school grads read
Yeah.
at elementary level.
Isn't that something?
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
That's really sad.
Baltimore's a shitty place.
I used to love Baltimore. I used to go there on vacation.
You wouldn't go there now. On vacation? What would you do?
My mom would take me to the aquarium for vacation.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Why not get a mom tattoo?
She hates tattoos.
Okay. I'll get off the tattoos, but the aquarium you like.
I did, yeah.
You're okay. If you're done talking, I can be done too. That's fine.
Oh, you think I'm done talking?
You seem to be done talking.
I just felt like I had nothing to contribute about Baltimore
Seems like-
because I'm not smart.
You're not smart.
Yeah.
I think you're pretty smart.
Thanks, Pat. All right.
That's your word of affirmation.
You guys, this has been really a roller coaster. Pat, where can people find you?
Right here. I'm at Gas Digital.
Yeah.
In this chair. It's nyccrimereport.locals.com. Love to have you file there. Put up new show concepts all the fucking time. And of course, at Compound Media, where I'll be on doing TBD tonight, live at 7, Crime Report tomorrow night. So compoundmedia.com. And then the other one, of course, NYC Crime Report, nyccrimereport.locals.com. Thanks for having me on, Natalie. It was fun.
Thanks for having me. I mean, I hate myself. And you can follow me on Instagram at Natalie Cuomo _. Subscribe to my YouTube, youtube.com/Natalie Cuomo. Also on Twitch, twitch.tv/Natalie Cuomo. So follow me on Twitch, subscribe, twitch.tv/Natalie Cuomo. Thank you so much. I love you. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Help with Natalie Cuomo. Tune in next week for another episode. Find us on social media at Help with Natalie.